Yeah. So, hello everybody. This is Joy the Downward Dog, who is not quite sure about anything right now. She thinks that there are predators in the house. She disagreed with me. So, Joy, you gonna come over here and practice with us? Today, we are going to do a more traditional, and I mean slightly more traditional, flow power kind of yoga. And by traditional, I mean only that instead of holding the poses for long times, we are going to hold them for a little bit less time and flow through them a little bit more. So let's try it and see how it goes. So I'll start in our seated position, and we will practice our breathing and work on, first of all, breathing in and out through our nose. So just take 3 or 4 breaths with that. And then start to bring your breath into your chest. Yeah, what's going on? Hey. And then start to bring it into your belly. And that's all we're working on, is just trying to bring your breathing into your belly so that you start the process of, I don't want to say relaxing, because that's not what we're here for, but to become aware of how your breathing is moving through your body. Do a couple more breaths here. All right, now let's roll forward onto all fours, and we'll come into our cat and cow pose. And I'm gonna let the dog back out into the world. There you go, pup. And in our tabletop position, we'll be here with our hands underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our chest. And we're going to start working on practicing the breathing with the movement. And so let's start an inhale, and start with a relatively slow inhale. And drop your belly, stick your butt out a little bit, and start lifting up your head. This is cow. And then when you're done with that inhale, start exhaling, tuck your hips under, and start arching your back and dropping your head. And then when you're done with that exhale, start to inhale and roll up. And then exhale and roll down. So focus on your breathing first, and then do the movement with your breath. All right, so when I'm cueing you with the movements, and we'll start off with some Sun Salutations, move into a warrior sequence, move into a crescent lunge sequence, and then we'll do a little bit of mat work. I will be cueing the breath. All right, so let's extend your hands, and then extend your toes so that they're now curled up, and let's push ourselves into a downward dog. And as we are going through today, I will also be giving you a lot of options and modifications for whatever you need, right? So, unless, of course, your need is like a cup of coffee or tea, and I won't be bringing you that. So, let's inhale, come up on your tiptoes, and exhale, bring your right heel down. And then inhale up, exhale, bring your left heel down. And then up. Right heel, left. Inhale up on your tiptoes, down. Both heels, if you can. Inhale, look to the top of the mat, and then walk your feet forward on your exhale into a forward fold. Then we'll inhale to a half lift. Exhale to a forward fold, all the way up into a mountain. And here's where we'll start our sun salutations. Right, so come on down to the forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale your hands down to the mat. Step your right foot back, then your left foot back into a plank. Drop your knees, come into a cobra. Inhale and then exhale back into downward dog. So that's how this progression will go, and we'll do that a few times. Now we'll inhale, look to the top of the mat, walk your feet forward into forward fold, half lift, exhale to a forward fold, inhale, back to a mountain. Flip your hands around and swan dive down. And then inhale to a half lift. Exhale, put your hands on the mat, left foot back, right foot back into plank. Drop your knees into cobra, inhale, and exhale back into downward dog. And we'll take a few breaths here. That's kind of a rest pose. And let's do that again. Inhale, walk your feet forward into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands down. Right leg back, left leg back into plank. Drop your knees into cobra as you inhale. Exhale back into downward dog. Find your breathing into your belly. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Walk your feet forward. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, all the way down. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, left foot back first, right foot back. Drop your knees and inhale into a cobra. And exhale back into downward dog. All right. Now we are warming up. All right, so let us inhale and bring our right foot up into the air in a three-legged dog. And we will come forward into a warrior one. So I'll come into that lunge, drop my back heel, and I'm going to come forward so you can see. So my back heel is now straight. And I'm sorry, it's at an angle, but it's on the floor straight. And then I'm going to come up into a warrior one. So again, warrior one, rotating your hips and your shoulders forward. And then we'll inhale and exhale. We'll do that one more time only. Inhale, and then try to get a back bend. Now we'll inhale, and we're going to rotate to a warrior two. This is where we become a little more traditional. We only hold these poses for a few breaths. And then exhale, come down a little bit deeper. Inhale, try to stretch your hands on the exhale. And then inhale, come into a side, or what are these called? Reverse warriors. When you're, good Lord, it's a long day. Bring your right hand up into the air. And you are just reaching back, opening up your right side body. Inhale, and then we're going to rotate into that side angle that I was sort of mentioning before. Have your right forearm onto your right thigh. Try to bring your left shoulder up and over so it's on top of your right. Inhale and exhale and rotate. One more breath. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Drop your hands to the mat and cartwheel them down. Push your right leg back into downward dog. Oh, good work. We're going to go through that routine. We're going to do the left side now, and then do the right, and then the left. Come through twice. All right. Excuse me. Let's inhale, bring your left leg forward or up, and then bring it forward on the exhale. And I'm going to flip around. All right, so now we're in warrior one on this side. So again, you're trying to rotate your hips and your arms. Inhale, open up a little bit. Exhale, try to get into a pose. Inhale, open up your belly. Exhale. Good, now inhale. Exhale into a warrior two. Inhale, make sure you've got that weight on your back foot so that your torso is straight up and down. Inhale. Good, and we'll inhale. Bring your left hand up this time into reverse warrior. Now you're trying to open up your left side body. Inhale, relax, exhale, reach. Good, now inhale, roll your torso sideways, bring your left arm, left forearm down to your left thigh, reach with your right hand so that it's mostly a straight line, but you're trying to bring your right shoulder over on the exhale. This is a rotation and a lengthening. Exhale. Inhale, come up. Exhale, rotate. Good. All right. Inhale, cartwheel your hands back down to the mat into a downward dog. My downward dog is not helping tonight. Although she added some cuteness into the factor, but good. All right, we're going to do that same thing, same 3 breaths. Inhale your right leg up into three-legged dog. Bring your right leg forward. Drop your back heel. Come in to a warrior one. Good. Really focus on your back bend, on your hips and your shoulders rotating forward. Whoa, your balance. Good. One more. Inhale and exhale into a warrior two. Good. Work on your torso, work on your hands. Good. Inhale and exhale into the reverse warrior. Bring your right hand up into the air. Just feel a strong left leg and left glute really holding you in place. And this time we're going to, instead of coming into a side angle, we'll come into a full side angle as opposed to extended. So come down, rotate your hand and your torso. Drop your right hand down so that your elbow is on the inside of your knee and reach your left hand up towards the ceiling. And we're doing this because triangle and side angle are nearly the same thing except for this front leg. It's the only difference. So then inhale, come down with your left arm. Exhale, reach up. And then roll over. Good. And then inhale, cartwheel your hands back down to the mat. Bring your right foot back in to downward dog. And this is where there's a little bit of a rest that happens. Every time I inhale, I come up on my tiptoes, sink down a little bit. All right, so inhale, left leg up, left leg forward, rotate, and come into the warrior one. I'm gonna have to do a class on the warrior story. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but the warrior story is great. If I ever get a chance to teach 8th graders or 7th graders in a yoga class, this is what I would do, because it's a story of forbidden love, loving the bad boy, your dad getting mad. But then the cool part, we'll inhale and exhale into a warrior two. This is where you're holding the swords. And there's killing and death and beheadings and blood. But then there's a happy ending. And the beheaded person gets his head back. Which is always a good thing. Inhale, bring your left arm up into the air. Good. Inhale, bring it back. It's really a good story though. And now we're gonna bring our left elbow down, or left hand down, left elbow into our left knee, and then open up as best we can. Inhale and open up your right hand. It's as if you're trying to unhug a giant tree. Open up your arms. Good. Now we'll inhale, exhale, bring your hands back down to the mat, and then push your foot back into another downward dog. And just keep working your shoulders, work your calf muscles, work your back muscles. Your core is holding you up. All right, so now we're going to do one round of the crescent lunge series, which is crescent lunge to warrior two to a triangle. All right, inhale, bring your right foot up into the air, bring it forward. And now with your back foot, leave it just the way it is, pointing forward. And then, this is where there's a little bit of balance. You can bring your feet like shoulder width apart, but the exhale is bringing your left heel down towards the ground. Bring your arms up. So this is just like a warrior one, except your back leg is straight. So it's much easier to do, obviously, your hips and your shoulders being straight. So the inhale is coming up on your back leg, and the exhale is pushing that down and creating more of a back bend. Good. Good. Now we're going to drop the heel, rotate around to a warrior two, but just as a transition. Now we'll inhale your front leg straight, reach with your right hand and drop your right hand inside of your leg and bring up your left hand. So now you're doing the same unhugging of a giant tree. it's the same process you were just doing with the side angle, where you are trying to open up your left side, dropping your torso so that you're straight up and down, which is a really hard thing to do. And you can see I'm not anywhere close to it, but that's okay. All right, now we'll inhale, we'll cartwheel your hand back down to the mat, push your right leg back into, guess what? A downward dog. But we're almost done with downward dogs. We only have one more after this one. Technically two, but really not. Right, left foot up into the air, inhale, exhale it forward. Keep your back foot straight, come up into the lunge, into a crescent lunge. So I'm going to come sideways and see what I'm trying to do with a back bend. Try and be the key word. Whoa. So the inhale is coming up on my toe, exhale is coming back, reaching up. Good. 2 more breaths. Good. Now inhale, drop that foot, rotate around into the warrior two. Now I'm going to flip around. And then we're going to straighten the front leg on the inhale, reach with the right hand, and drop into a triangle. For me, this side has always been more challenging to try to bring my right hand up into the air. And that's okay, that's just kind of normal. You sometimes get one side that is looser than the other. Inhale, exhale. And exhale. And then guess what? We're going to inhale and exhale into a, yes, downward dog. Roll your hands down, push your foot back. And there we go. All right, but I did say this is going to be pretty much the last one because we're going to come forward with our knee. We're going to do a pigeon pose, and we will bring our knee forward and rotate around so you can see what my knee is doing. And you don't need to have it all the way cranked out. We're not trying to stretch our knees. We're trying to stretch your right gluteus maximus and your minimus, a little bit of the medius, as well as trying to get at your left hip flexors. All right, so we're going to stay upright. When you come down, it's a sleeping pigeon. We're going to stay upright. And if we were really ambitious tonight, we would try a king pigeon, which really should be called a queen pigeon. But right now, we're going to inhale, rotate our hips a little bit, and then exhale. I'm bringing my right hip down to the mat a little bit. Inhale up, exhale back. Good. Let's do one more breath. Good. All right, switch legs. This is where it's kind of a downward dog, but not really. And then bring your right knee back. So I'm going to come sideways so you can see what we're doing here. I'm just trying to bring my right knee back to create a little bit more opening for my right hip flexor, but also for my hip. I'm going to inhale, roll forward just a little bit, kind of forward and sideways. And then exhale and let my left hip come down. And down. And down. Good. All right, now drop your left butt cheek in. We'll come into our seated position. Get a quick drink as we wrap things up. So find your breathing back into your belly. That was a lot more movement than we normally do. Feels kind of good though. Break things up. Get a lot more work for your shoulders this way with so many downward dogs. All right, let's bring our hands up into the air and like we always do, bring your hands up and then exhale and bring it back to heart center. And then the idea is that we're scooping up all of the energy that we just created and then bringing it in to ourselves so that we can keep scooping up this energy and share it with others. That's the idea. And again, the idea of saying namaste at the end of classes is simply a sense of gratitude for the world and the people in it. And so I am grateful for you. Namaste. All right, thanks. If you got questions about Simple Endurance Coaching, go to the website, simpleendurancecoaching.com. And I sound like a used car salesman. And come on down, I got new Chevys, and yeah, I'm gonna stop there. You got great coaching packages, yoga, strength training, and we'll see you soon. All right, take care.